The recognition today of Judy Burton highlights the importance of reprioritizing public school education, especially in California, which is now 43rd in the nation in per pupil spending. Segregation, curriculum tracking, English-only policies, and unequal resources mar U.S. schools. With growing rates of class and racial disparities, we are facing attacks on teachers' unions, more school budget cuts, more layoffs, and more college tuition increases, as well as a battle in Arizona over the teaching of relevant curriculum like Chicana and Chicano studies. Our schools and society are steeped in inequality. There are no easy answers for addressing these structural and institutional injustices. So now, perhaps more than ever, we need creative, we need committed, we need community-centered people willing to work within our schools, advocating with our youth. Candidate for an honorary degree, Judy Burton is doing just that. She's devoted over 30 years to working within our public schools. She's done so in Los Angeles Unified School District as a teacher, a principal, assistant superintendent, and now as president and chief executive officer of the Alliance for College-Ready Public Schools. The Alliance includes over 18 schools in Los Angeles with about 6,000 students. Over 90% are working-class Latinas and Latinos and African Americans. Growing up in some of the same communities where the Alliance has established schools, Judy Burton recalls her own schooling experiences where everything within the school was segregated. Today, she describes her work as going back home and making a difference for those students who live in those communities now. As she emphasizes, the world is a better place when we prepare more kids. And preparing youth to attend college is exactly what she is helping to do. In 2009, all of Alliance's graduates earned college acceptances. Last spring, 85% were admitted to four-year colleges and universities. While much work lays ahead of us in rectifying decades and decades of injustices, and we must proceed with this extreme caution to ensure that today's educational reforms don't continue the inequities of the past, the commitment of educators such as Judy Burton exemplifies the importance of reaching back, working within communities, and expanding educational access for all. President Oxtoby, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the faculty of Pomona College, I present to you Judy Burton for an honorary degree.
Judy Ivie Burton, by the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Education in Pomona College, honoris causa.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity to make a few brief comments to just let you know how very special this day and this honor is for me. You see, I am doubly honored to be among the many recipients of distinction who have been recognized by Pomona College, because every single day that I get up and go to work, I have the honor and the privilege of serving students and families in communities that are among the most challenging communities in Los Angeles. Communities where historically, kids do not only not go to college, they don't graduate from high school. I have the honor, the privilege of working with teachers and principals who believe that's not right and who are willing to roll up their sleeves, make the commitment, and do whatever it takes to prove to these students and families that they can learn, they can achieve, they can graduate from high school, and they can enter colleges such as Pomona College. You see, I believe that the civil rights issue of our time is access to a quality public education. Right now, in our country and right here in our city, there is inequity, there is injustice. If you read this week's Los Angeles Times, you would see these numbers. And if you read them, you should be sad along with me. 5 years ago, Los Angeles Unified School District passed a policy that required that in order to graduate, students must take and pass A through G college prep courses and pass those courses with a grade of C or better in order to receive a diploma. 5 years ago, this is yesterday, 24% of Latino students passed A through G courses with a grade of C. 20% of African American students passed A through G courses with a grade of C. 40% of white students passed with a grade of C. That is not acceptable for anyone, and it should not be acceptable to anyone in this audience. It's not someone else's job, it's each of our jobs to roll up our sleeves, take action, and do something about it. That's why I am honored, privileged every single day to wake up and go to work and prove that those statistics do not have to be what they are. In the fall, you will receive many students from Alliance College-Ready Public Schools who come from communities where 95% of the students are eligible for free and reduced meals, who will be the first, many of them, in their families not only to graduate from high school, but to ever even get a chance to go to a four-year university. That won't be good enough for us. Success for us means that I will be able to come back here 4 years from now and see some of our graduates sitting in the rows of these young people who are here today. Thank you so much. I'm deeply honored for this recognition.